Hey.
It's Friday night and hey! You made it a whole week. Come on, Instagram. Where my Instagram people at? Get on.
Made it.
Good evening. Good
Yes.
evening.
We're in the building.
Hi, everybody.
Hey,
What's
it's Friday
up?
night.
Yes.
Hey.
Ladies' night.
Ladies' night.
It is ladies'
Come on
night
in.
on Friday, 8 o'clock. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Tell your friends we is on tonight.
Yes.
Friday, it's time for
Come
soul
on.
food. We about to eat good.
Yes.
We're gonna have some good conversation.
Yeah.
I already pre-made some lemonade, okay? All right, so I pre-made us some pink strawberry lemonade.
Yes.
Oh, I'm making a mess.
Yes.
It's pre-made, so pre-blended.
It looks good,
It
Pastor.
looks so
I hope
good
it come
and
out.
pretty.
I thought I'm in another country.
Correct. Look at this.
It's Friday night today. Hey, everybody.
On vacation.
Hello. It's time to stop in my juice and
It
come.
As you did this right here?
Yeah, I did
Oh,
this.
this
There's-
is nice.
this
and the
fancy.
flowers are edible.
No.
Yes.
What?
Don't eat them now. Golly, let people see it for a minute. God, let them get on the camera first. Good evening. We've got strawberry lemonade poured up. It is virgin. I put a little bit of ginger ale in their glasses.
Yeah.
All right.
Virgin.
We just like pretty drinks. Okay.
Yes. Come on.
It's ladies' night. Come on, we made it to Friday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good evening,
Goodness.
everybody. It's just pink lemonade and ginger ale. Okay. Strawberry
delicious.
berry lemonade, homemade,
So good.
Yes.
with some ginger ale. Good evening. It's Friday, y'all.
Come on in.
We made it. We made it.
Yes.
Heart it up. All right, tell me where you from. Tell me what you got going on. Cause it's almost time to cook. We're gonna eat
Yes.
good today.
Yeah.
It's
Real
just
good.
the ladies. It's just the ladies tonight.
Yes, it's just
You
us.
got me. I'm Pastor Taliba Durham. This is a virgin.
It's virgin.
Strawberry lemonade and ginger ale.
Virgin.
But we made it cute, okay? Because we like pretty drinks.
Yeah.
We do.
This is Jewel, Glenda,
Hi.
and Danielle.
What's up?
It's ladies' night tonight. Stefan couldn't be here.
Oh.
You know, it's because we had such a heated argument last week that he just had to not show up. How does it taste? Is it good?
Oh my,
great.
it's delicious.
This is great.
It is so good.
So good. Mm-hmm.
This
Yeah, that's
is
good.
what you need on
That's good.
Friday
That's
night.
good.
This
That's good. That little sugar on the side. Got a little sugar on the side.
Good, good.
That's good. That's good right there. Good evening, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, so since it's ladies' night
Yes.
and we get to talk freely,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Freely.
even though Stefan's gonna chew us out later, so we don't
Definitely
care.
is. We love you, Stefano.
We don't care, Stefan. Okay, we're gonna be completely biased. We're not even gonna try to see the other perspective.
No, not all.
And according to our argument last week, we're gonna be emotional. So tonight we are making Marry Me Chicken.
Wait a minute.
I know, it's a ladies' night. We should somebody type on there "Marry Me Chicken." Could you
Marry
guys tell them on Facebook?
Okay, Marry
We're
Me
making Marry Me Chicken. I
Marry
didn't
Me.
post it in advance. I'm sorry, I ran out of time. But if you want the recipe, I will post it on your feed later. Okay?
Yes.
But it's Marry Me Chicken. It is delicious.
Yes.
At least that's what it looks like.
No, it's gonna be
good.
delicious. It's
I'm really not
every
100%
week.
sure.
Yes.
But listen, guys, this is soul food. So some of the best memories I've ever had always happens around the kitchen. Some great conversations with any of my
Yes,
church
yes,
members has
Always,
always
always.
happened in our kitchen. The pulpit is one thing, but bringing it home and being able to talk and really have real talk that is not necessarily for the masses per se. But just those selective friends like you and members that we
Yes.
really truly value having a great conversation.
Yeah.
So that's what this is about. I am not a chef, although someone asked me today, they checked my feed, and they're like, so are you a chef part-time? I was like, no, not at all. That's just a show.
Food just tastes like
Okay,
We don't
my
agree with
dad
that.
is a chef.
No.
I'm the daughter of a chef. Hey, Daddy, love you. My mother, when she was here, she could really cook as well. So I was surrounded by great food all my life. It's the way we In our family, we like to be hospitable. We like to invite friends over and have parties and dinner parties and all kinds of things. So welcome to Soul Food.
Yes.
You are now in our home, my home, having dinner. I know if I could send it to you, I would. But we're going to make some Marry Me chicken. I think the concept of this chicken is if you make this for a man, he's going to want to marry you.
Yes.
I don't really know. Okay. Because I made red wine chicken for my man, the first meal I ever made. But this one is a creamy, it's a creamy Parmesan cheese over chicken thighs.
Yes.
Since the recipe just called for meat, which I love.
Yes.
I also am going to try to do some mashed potatoes, creamy, cheesy, roasted garlic mashed potatoes.
Come on.
And I'm going to try, and I've already pre-cooked those, some sweet baby carrots, some roasted carrots. So we're going to have Marry Me chicken, roasted garlic mashed potatoes, and baby roasted carrots.
That sounds
Come on.
good.
Okay, so
Come on now.
you know, we're trying to level it up. I'm trying to level it up. On the ladies' night. Cheer it up on the ladies' night.
Ladies' night. Come
Friday.
on. Friday.
Okay.
We made it. Yes.
Oh, that's good. That is good though.
It's really good.
That's good.
That's
That's
good.
good.
Really, really good.
Delicious.
It's so good. It's
Okay.
really good.
That's very good. Jewel, you already ate all your sugar off of it. You just took the glass of
Anyway,
wine.
you lick it.
You just licked all around the rim.
I don't even play around. You didn't even wait.
Okay, so for our ingredients on the Marry Me chicken, we've got some heavy cream for the sauce, grated Parmesan, chicken stock. We've got some minced garlic, red pepper flakes, some thyme, some salt and some pepper, some black folk seasoning. All the extras. And some sun-dried tomatoes that I'm going to chop up and put in the sauce.
Nice.
Also, I'm going to try to do some mushrooms if I don't forget to saute the mushrooms and the thyme together with the garlic when we make the sauce. You're going to see me pull the chicken out. It's already been pre-seasoned a little bit with some black pepper and salt. And I'm going to sear it skin side down. And then I'm going to add the sauce and we're going to bake it for a little bit. So I think it's going to come out pretty good, okay?
Yes.
Come on.
All right. So, what do you guys want to talk about? What do you want to talk about tonight?
We ain't got stuff on here. We can talk real good.
Anything.
Real good. Because
The lemonade is flowing.
It is.
The lemonade is flowing. We can talk about whatever we want to talk about.
You can talk about whatever you like.
Yes.
Whatever you like.
Well, who's on with us right now? Who's on Facebook? Who's on Instagram?
Yeah, Marbella Davis, Mother Bell. on
Hey,
Facebook.
Mother Bell on Facebook. That's it.
Brother Wesley.
Brother West. Hey, Brother West. Instagram. Come on, read some names.
We got Your Wise Chef.
Hey, why chef? Now you a chef, man. Come on, man. You was on the show last week, man. Don't do me like that, man. You putting pressure on me. You putting pressure on me.
We got Lonita.
Hey, Lonita.
We got Prophetess Barbara.
Hey,
We got Hudson Community Fellowship.
Hello, Prophetess Hudson, Pastor Hudson. Good to meet you. Thank you so much for your prayers in the loss of my mother. You've always encouraged me, and you've never even met me. So I just want to tell you thank you because I need it, and it's working. I'm still standing. So may the Lord bless you. Prophetess Barbara, the best realtor in the state of Georgia.
And
Good to see you as well. Anybody else?
Marsalis.
Hey, Marsalis. Good to see you. Did he say where he was from?
No, he didn't.
Okay. All right.
Smitty the Barber.
Smitty the Barber. That's Tori. Tori, this is ladies' night. Don't be trying to tell on us. To all the men at the church what we was talking about.
Sister Rock.
Hey, Rashida. Hey, put baby Isaac on. That's my god, baby. Hey, Rashida. Hey, Snickums.
We got The Real Kim Clee.
Hey, The Real. All right. What's up?
Holy Ghost Girl 57.
Look, I can't deal with this. Okay, y'all, this is too much. Okay. All right. If you are heart it up. Let me know that you're there. If you're from a different state or country, please let us know what state and country you're from. We're based in Georgia, but shout out and let us know, okay?
Yeah.
I got
Marsalis said Gwinnett.
Who said?
Marsalis.
Marsalis, hey, you from Gwinnett? Gwinnett County representing. I gotta cook. All right.
Lakeisha's on too.
Hey, Keisha. Hey, Keish. All right. What we talking about tonight, ladies?
Okay, Pastor, you know I be driving long distances to work. So a lot of things coming to my head, right?
Okay.
So I was thinking about, like, is
My
love
pants not hot enough.
love really unconditional? So
Okay.
people say you love people when you love them unconditionally.
Right.
And they say because God loves us unconditionally.
Right.
And I'm feeling like, well, God got a lot of conditions. So where did this come from about that, you know, you love somebody when you love them unconditionally? Is that true or not? Because I feel like I got conditions. I feel like people love me with conditions. I never seen the Bible where God love us unconditionally.
So wait, you gotta be confused. Are we talking about people unconditionally loving or God
God
unconditionally?
and people. They get it from God. They like, God love unconditionally.
So
you
you
love
love
me
me unconditionally.
Yeah,
That's what they be
you're
saying.
right.
That is
God
what they be
really love
saying.
us unconditionally because I feel like it's some conditions.
It's some conditions.
Conditions.
With God too?
Yeah. You don't believe in conditions?
What y'all think?
I think I agree because you do feel like I need to hit certain marks
Yes.
for the Lord to love me.
Yes.
And I know in my mind and what they tell me is that He loves me unconditionally. But it do be certain things you got to do. Like I can't just be out here willy-nilly doing whatever and somehow I'm a Christian and I love the Lord.
Or can I?
Or can I? Right. Because then there is that. I mean, that's real.
Listen, if you're on Instagram, I love you guys so much. But if you go to Facebook or YouTube, Facebook at Pastor Taliba.
Yes.
Facebook, I'm on Taliba Durham on Facebook, TALIBAHDURHAM, and I'm also on TSD or TS Durham Ministries on Facebook. That way you can see what's happening on the stove. There's a whole camera angle we get to use with these other cameras. You get to see what's happening on the stove as well as some of the chats on Facebook and YouTube. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I agree. That unconditional, I definitely agree with that because I always feel like I got to be earning it, like to maintain.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's in place, like it's unconditional, but you got to keep doing stuff.
Correct. You do.
Wait, are we talking about people or are we talking
We're talking about the Lord.
But
But
people
both of
say-
them too, because they do. People be like, I want you to love me
Like God loves you.
unconditionally.
Stuff like-
Unconditionally. You need to love me like how God loved me.
Yeah.
Like,
Unconditionally. So I'm thinking like,
everybody know you ain't God, so how that's
but should I love like him? So ain't
That's
that goal?
true.
Ain't that goal in Corinthians? Love like him, love and patient kind, all that stuff. I'm like, so I feel like with God and people, like, do you know you love somebody when you do love them unconditionally? And is that a real thing? Loving unconditionally. Or it's some fairy tale Disney type stuff.
But that's all y'all got on that.
That I got on it. I feel like,
Lanita says, what is unconditional
Thank
love?
you.
Okay,
What
what
is
is unconditional love?
So you feel that one.
I guess we're saying where you love someone in spite of everything and anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that is a real thing. Let's separate the topic from
Okay.
God
Okay.
Okay.
and people.
Okay.
All right.
Let's just do God first.
Okay, good.
That's good. That's a high point. That's a high point, you know?
Let's just do God first. Okay. Hope my chicken doesn't burn.
Okay.
Oh,
It's smelling so
okay,
good. though.
okay. So, God is love according to the Bible.
Then let's say
Pastor, that's what it's saying.
So,
Pastor.
yeah, I'm a pastor.
for real.
She know a little Bible. She knows scripture. But God is love. So when he is unconditionally loving, that is just a part of his personality.
Okay.
It's just natural to him and how he's made, or not even made, but just how he exists, is that he just automatically is love. I think the hiccup about God's unconditional love is our understanding of defining it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for us, in a fallen world,
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Okay.
okay, in an unholy state,
Oh,
those
yeah.
of us,
Yeah.
Yeah.
people who are human in sin,
Right.
Yeah.
Us.
we have a hard time fathoming any type of love that's unconditional,
Okay.
because we sin.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
And
that's
sin
good.
causes death and pain and hurt and
Yes.
suffering.
Yes.
And if I sin against my neighbor, then this makes loving hard.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
it is not impossible or hard for a loving God. My
Gotcha.
chicken.
Chicken burger. Oh, chicken burger.
It smells good. It don't smell like it burning.
We're
That's
just
for
trying to
sure.
sear it off the top a little bit,
It smells delicious.
and then we're gonna, that kind of thing. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Nita, for asking that question. I had the same question. So basically, you said because we messed up, we have a hard time loving people or understanding unconditional
We
love.
have a hard time understanding God's
Okay.
unconditional love. We don't think it's possible.
Right.
And we look at things that he tells us to do for our good or for holiness as conditions for his love, when that's never what he intended.
Okay, that makes okay.
That makes sense. So it's our mind up here. It's
us.
It's us.
I'm proud.
unconditional is unconditional, but we have a hard time fully receiving that and experiencing it because everything about our fallen state would mean there's consequences and repercussions for doing wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
But if we were in a perfected state with a perfected God, then love is love.
Yeah.
And there's no condition to get more love. It's just like breathing.
Oh,
You just do it.
you just do it.
You just
Okay.
do it. But now in a fallen world, we've got scarcity. In a fallen world, we've got wars and crimes and death, and things run out and time runs out. And so now it causes us to move in behaviors that are not loving.
Yeah. That's
But if
good
you removed
stuff.
all of that,
Okay,
Yes.
all that.
and someone said, don't go down that road, make sense?
Yes.
It wouldn't seem, the love wouldn't seem conditional.
That's true.
That's true. That's
It wouldn't
true.
even seem conditional. Don't go down the road. Yeah, don't go down the road. All right. Okay,
Right,
cool.
okay.
You just don't go down the road. You don't think, if I go down this road, will you not love me? That wouldn't that would not come
That's
into
good.
your
Right.
that would
That's
not come
good.
into your
That's true.
understanding
Yeah.
if there was no sin, death, shortage,
Gotcha.
consequences, and all those types of things.
Okay.
Oh, that's good.
So that's with God. Now tell me about these love situations with people.
I got conditions.
Exactly.
Major condition.
But I don't know
Exactly.
if the goal is to be like God in that situation. To be like I'm just love in that situation.
Are we talking about people or are we talking about men?
People and men. The men always included.
Okay.
I mean, it's a ladies' night, so we're gonna have to talk about
We're
men.
gonna have to talk about men.
I don't know what's up with ladies. Yeah, my friend, whatever.
No. The men folk. The men folk. That's who we talking about.
Okay, so go ahead.
Yeah, so men be like, they want you to accept them who they are. Like you were down for me when I was down and out.
Yeah.
And now you really love me through that point, and they look at that as though that is the ideal love. That you love them unconditionally, no matter what state they're in.
I think any man that says I want a woman that was down with me when I was down and out has to have some great potential that makes this other stuff pretty bad. I mean, not so bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like, man, I ain't got no car, but I make a lot of money, and in a minute when I get my credit up, then I might have a better car. Or I really have a terrible job, but I'm so attentive.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? So it kind of makes it like, yeah, he'll go back and go, you really had my back when I was down and out. But you be going, bro, if you wasn't so attentive and nice, if you wasn't so sweet and caring, I would have been left you. Or if the sex wasn't so good.
That's real talk.
That
That's
is
You're
real.
not supposed to have that outside of marriage.
Right.
I'm sitting on this fast.
That's
I'm sitting on
right.
that.
But it do be happening. Lonita said, Pastor, the men folks are clowns.
Y'all stop bashing on men.
We're not.
Y'all stop bashing on
I
men.
love men.
Don't bash men.
I love the men.
Nita said they clown and put the emoji too. They are clowns.
What are you wrong for that?
Okay, so where were we on unconditional
Unconditional
love
love.
with men?
Yes.
Is there such thing as unconditional love amongst relationships with people?
Correct.
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do it.
I think before love can become unconditional, it has to first be seen or demonstrated.
By whom?
Both parties.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Love in its nature has to be given and received for it to be actual.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, I agree with that. Yes.
Now that's good.
Okay. In love, in nature, by its own nature, it has to be given and received for it to be love.
Okay. Yes.
For example, a sound has to be heard for it to be a sound.
Yes.
Wait, now you know you're talking good.
I can hit the glass. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's just me hitting something, creating an energy or an energy force or a wave.
Yeah.
But it doesn't become a sound until there's a person to receive
Yes.
the hearing. Hello?
That's good.
The work center. I got some things. Okay, this is all day, every day.
That's good.
No,
So when it
seriously.
comes to love, in order to have unconditional love, it has to be both given and received. The issue with God being love is that people are not receiving his unconditional love, even though it is given. So
Okay.
thus, there's no
Okay.
love there.
That's good.
Okay.
That's
Does
good.
that make sense?
Yeah.
So in personal relationships, this problem will be the same. That it has to be given and received, and people have a hard time giving
Yes.
love
Yes.
Yeah.
when it seems like you're flawed.
Yes.
Right.
Like, oh, I don't like what you did.
That's it.
I am not
I'm
giving.
cutting it
I am.
off.
I'm cutting that love
Right.
off. It's cut off.
Marsala says love is an action word as well as a noun.
Come on now.
Who
You
this
better
is?
say it.
Who this is? That's true.
Marsala.
That's true.
Yeah.
Love is that
It
is.
is an action. It has to be something you do.
It is. That's
Yeah,
true.
that is true.
So true. So true. What else we got? What else anybody says?
That's
On the
true.
love. Anything else?
He said wow earlier, and then he said love is an action.
So true. So if you have to, if love has to be given and received for it to be love, okay, by its nature, okay, then it takes two people to commit to loving in spite of some wrong or some flaws.
Yeah.
So in that, it takes discernment to decide if this is a good person for you to engage in this exchange.
Okay.
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 Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Now break that down, Pastor.
Okay.
Break that down. Break that down. Break it on down. Break it on down.
The love can be unconditional, but trying to determine if this is a person that you want to engage in this exchange with is paramount.
Okay.
And most people confuse the time of evaluation
Okay.
with love.
Okay.
You
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Most people confuse the time of evaluation with love.
Okay. Gotcha.
And that's why there's a courtship and then marriage. You're trying to determine, is this person the type of person, the type of individual, the type of character, the man or woman that I really feel like when I have to start exchanging unconditional love back and forth, that they're a good pick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's good.
And most people think they're in love when they're really still evaluating if
That's
you
good.
are worth it.
Good.
Are you the type who will exchange unconditional love with me? Am I the type that I feel like you're a good candidate to give my unconditional? Just the exchange.
Yes.
Unconditional doesn't mean permanent, and unconditional does not mean it's without boundaries.
Okay.
Now tell us about that now.
No
Tell
good.
us
I'm gonna check
about
on my chicken.
it. Marsala said, bingo, Pastor. Lonita said, it's levels to it.
Levels to it.
It's levels. It's
Yes.
levels to this.
And I think sometimes my chicken's still not ready.
Okay.
And I think sometimes people confuse unconditional love with having no boundaries.
Yes, that's me.
Yeah, me too.
That's
Me
me.
too.
Yeah. It's like, well, if I love you, then you can do whatever you want.
Right.
Or if I really love you, then I'll forgive you for everything.
Yes.
No, you could love someone unconditionally and establish that this is as far as our relationship goes.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
good.
good.
Like, I thought you loved me unconditionally. I'm sorry I hit you in the face.
Okay, that's
Okay,
no.
I do love you unconditionally, but now the nature of our relationship has to change,
Definitely.
and how I exchange my unconditional love now has to change.
Okay, I get
Now
that.
that's good.
Good.
So I'm no longer going to exchange it with you hitting me in the face.
Correct.
Right.
As a matter of fact, we're going to exchange it. You're going to be in one house, and I'm going to be in another house.
That's
And
good.
so how we exchange that unconditional love, or it could be in certain situations the abuse or the offense could have been so great that you don't walk with that person on this side of the earth anymore.
Yeah.
You'll see them in heaven. You love them unconditionally. You hope the best for them. But on this side, I love you from a distance.
Yeah.
I want the best from you, and I love no matter what. I forgive you. It's unconditional that I forgave you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you stay over there.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna stay over here, and we'll see each other in heaven without all of the pain and the tears
That's
Yeah.
good.
that has come in our
That's
lives.
good.
That's
Some
good.
pain and some tears can be so great
Yeah.
that it won't allow for an unconditional love exchange.
Yeah.
So you have to readjust how that love is then given.
Yes.
Now that's good because some people don't want to talk about that.
They don't want to talk about
They
that.
don't want to talk about that.
Y'all better read some comments. Somebody got something.
Now
Somebody said
look,
something
so
on Instagram.
Tori says that's good. The time of evaluation is mistaken for love.
Yes.
Marsala says the evaluation known as the courtship is a time to see if that person is
Come on now.
worthy of opening that door
Come on now.
to your heart and mind.
Yes, that's exactly what I feel. Courtship. People don't believe in that anymore. They go
It's true.
from marriage to from dating to sleeping around to let's hurry up and get married.
Correct.
You ain't even evaluated this situation.
So Janassa's got a question.
Oh, okay.
Janassa, your question is, girl.
What? You can't announce.
You can't announce you got a question.
What else?
She had a question.
What? Actually, write your question. What do y'all think
I think it's
about the boundaries part?
Oh.
the boundaries part is like I said, people don't want to say nothing about having boundaries in place and it still be considered unconditional love. Because the boundary to me, it means in my head I now have a condition.
Yeah.
So where is mistaking the boundary for the condition in essence?
Okay, yeah. Boundaries don't mean conditions.
That's
For
good.
love.
That's
Okay.
good.
Boundaries don't mean conditions for love. Boundaries mean conditions for how I show my love.
Okay.
Now that's
Okay.
good.
Okay.
That's good.
There are
I like
parameters for how I show my
makes
love.
sense.
Listen, you hit me last time you got angry. Even though I love you unconditionally, we are no longer going to show our love for one another in the same household.
That makes sense.
That's
Good.
good.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
makes
That
sense.
makes
Very
sense.
good.
It
We're
makes
not
sense.
going to do that.
Right.
So the boundaries are not conditions for love. They establish how the love will be
That
demonstrated.
makes more sense. Now
And
it
I
makes
think
more
people
sense.
confuse those two a lot. You
Yeah.
know? People that have suffered abuse from parents and family,
Yeah.
and there should be a boundary there that says, all right, I love you unconditionally and I forgive you, but moving forward, we're going to display our love uniquely different because that was a pain
Yeah.
and a tragedy
Yeah.
that was too great for us to remain the same.
Yeah.
And people don't recognize that love changes form.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
That's good.
That's
Trust
true.
me, I lost my mom. My new form of loving her is just grief and pain.
Yeah.
Love changes forms.
Yeah.
Christ, God is love. Then he became the word made flesh in Christ.
Yeah.
Christ walked and dwelt among us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then he died, was buried, raised from the dead, and ascended to heaven. Trust me,
Yes.
love changes
Yes,
form.
ma'am.
That's good.
Okay.
That's, now you talking to
You
you.
better, y'all
You
better,
better talk.
y'all
You
better,
better talk in here because you know you talking good. Lonita said, honestly, I honestly didn't hear the idea of courtship until coming to Renew.
Yeah.
It's not something that's taught, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a good time because most people don't. Trust me, I've had plenty of couples that wanted me to marry them. I go through marriage premarital counseling. They don't want to abide by the no sleeping around. And excuse me, in essence, they leave the church and get married by somebody else. Because it is difficult for someone. The best thing about courtship and not having sex in marriage, it doesn't mean that your marriage is guaranteed to work.
Yeah.
But it does mean that you get a chance without sex to really truly see
Yeah.
the type of sacrifice,
That's
the
good.
type of temperance,
Yeah.
you know, this person has. Can he
Yeah.
can she control her urges for my own spiritual well-being? Do you know what I mean?
That's good.
That's a
Yes.
big deal.
That's a big deal,
Yeah.
Pastor.
Yeah. Comments. Give me some comments.
Pastor, it's real, Pastor.
It's real.
Uh-huh.
Pastor, I just want to say Janai didn't have no question, real question. She just
She
said,
really didn't.
I love your fried chicken unconditionally. Can I have some?
That's not a good.
It's not fried chicken. So if you're looking on Facebook or Instagram, you will see that our chicken, if you're looking on Facebook and Instagram, the chicken in the pot is, I'm just searing the top skin and I'm searing the bottom because it's going to have to be baked in a cream sauce. A sun-dried
good.
tomato
That sounds
cream
good.
sauce. It's
It's
going to be really
real.
good.
So
So I don't want you
good.
to look over and be like, fried chicken. You know how people do it. That ain't no fried chicken. Y'all got a lot of comments. I'm seeing some comments
Yes.
on Instagram from a distance, and I see some on Facebook. Give me some good ones.
Wesley Green said, "Let it flow, Pastor. Let it flow."
Amen. That let it go.
Thank you, Brother West.
You are the bad comment person.
What's on Instagram? Who somebody wrote something big on Instagram?
Oh, that was Nita. She was
that was
saying
Nita.
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Cool.
Wow. That was
You
good.
you know
That's
that's but that topic is good, Pastor. I mean, it helped to just to that love changing form. That's big now.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
big. Ain't nobody
Yeah.
saying nothing about that.
Yeah.
Love changing form. That
Love changes form,
It
definitely.
doesn't have to stay that. That's good.
The way you love your babies when they're babies is different than the way
the way.
how you
How.
love them when
How.
they're an
That's
adult.
good.
That's really good.
When they're
That's
grown.
good.
It does, the love does not change, but how you demonstrate that love changes.
That's true.
Hello,
That's true.
hello.
That's true.
Thank you for that, Pastor.
Yes, and sometimes, so boundaries should not be conditions for love, but rather you establish how our love will be demonstrated.
That's good.
Yes,
That's
yes.
good. Tori says
Yeah.
boundaries are healthy.
Who said what?
Tori said boundaries are healthy.
You doggone right they are healthy.
That's giving the eye.
Brother Thor, Smitty the Barber go to our church. You doggone right, Smitty the Barber. Boundaries. All right, what else we got? Anything else? What y'all got to say?
I think that really just changed my mindset, Pastor. That love changes form. That
Yeah.
changes mindset, and it does give perspective. It almost makes it makes love more fluid versus just this mystical thing.
You know, and people will try to gaslight you and manipulate you
Yeah.
to say, well, if you love me,
Yes.
if you love me,
Right.
You'll do
if
these
you
things.
forgive me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do, but that's just not the form that our love is taking right now.
Yes.
I mean,
you know you're talking good.
That's good.
you know, if you really forgave me, then you wouldn't. And if you really love me, then you wouldn't. And you have now a ready-made factor that says, because sometimes when you're really trying to love somebody, you just assume, well, maybe I should.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah, because you don't want to be considered like the person that ain't. I'm not all in, or I'm not showing you that I'm trying to love you unconditionally.
Right.
So I don't want to be no punk. I
Right.
will, but at the same time, if it crosses a boundary.
And I think it helps me because I'm thinking that when you love somebody unconditionally, that once the offense made, you still love the same way
No.
when you forgive. So that clears up for me.
Yeah.
If you can love the same way, go for it. But in most cases, depending on the severity of the offense, it's not possible. And if it is possible, it's not possible for a season.
Gotcha. Okay.
For a
That's good.
season, for a while, the love will have to take a different form. You know, maybe in some marriages, you know, we just love enough for the kids. You know, we just get through. We just get through for the children. You know, and eventually they do that for so long that they reconnect. They get over it. You know, sometimes we do it because, you know, it's a rough patch right now. You know, or out of friendship, they're putting in friends that turn lovers and couples and married. You know, we were just friends, and then our love took a different form. So you never know. You know, but love definitely does change form.
That's good.
That's good,
That's
Pastor.
good.
That's good.
Wesley Green was explaining his comment earlier, Pastor. He said, Sister Glenda, the reason why I told Pastor to let it flow is because I've been trying to tell my grown-up daughters that it's okay, that they just want to go right into it and hope that God will forgive them. And they need to know that they need to hold on, and Jesus will show them that these men are what they are.
That's
Yes,
good.
we sometimes women, we just want them to know that we're down, that we love them, that we're good at loving people, and we go too far before we had a chance to evaluate this person is not going to be good at exchanging unconditional love.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's
And
real.
some people are not good at it, you know? And
that's true.
if you want to be good at it, you don't pick somebody that's not good at it.
Pastor, my question is, could unconditional love change someone? Not change someone like that, but can it inspire and motivate someone to change and
Oh,
reciprocate?
absolutely. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. Unconditional love can change your heart. The issue with human to human love, trying to change, is you have to suffer all the pain of trying to get that person to change. And if I was anybody's parent, I would not want my son or my daughter to have to suffer through you trying to understand unconditional love while they're giving their hardest to you. They're giving their unconditional. Oh, so what if you stole from me? So what if you ain't got no job? So what if you hit me? I just want to. So what if you molested my child? I just want to love you unconditionally. Human to human, life is too short to be putting that kind of stuff on the line.
That's good. No, that's good.
My baby can go find somebody else. I don't have any children, you know. But if I did, I would imagine that they could go find someone else to do this exchange without costing them so much in pain and trauma. You know what I mean? And that's the hope for every parent, I'm sure. You know?
Marcellus says, Pastor, when love hits, you have no doubt. Love has to endure the ups and downs that comes with the journey. You can't run when it's not all good. You can't run when it's not all good.
Now that's true. Now I will say this: when love hits, you do have doubts, but everything else you said, 100%. You start to evaluate whether this hurdle is worth getting through. Do you see this person's heart, their nature, how they are, and you say, and are you built to handle that hurt? You know, my mom used to tell me, you don't fall in love with the man that you have things in common with. You fall in love with the man whose evil you can handle.
Well, that's wise.
My mom was wise. But she said you fall in love with the man that you can handle their evil. And every woman isn't built to handle the rough exterior of certain men. You know, and vice versa. Every man's not built to handle the roughness or the evil of a woman. And when I say evil, it means that we all have a really gross side.
Definitely.
We all have a really bad side.
Definitely.
And so my mom would tell me, baby, don't pick the guy that you just think everything is wonderful with. Wait till you see his evil. And can you handle that evil? Like, does it make you fall apart? Do you forget who you are? Do you lose your identity? If that's a part of it, he's not for you.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, that's good.
He's
Yeah,
not for
he's not
you.
one.
The rest is circumstantial, but the part that, and it takes a long time to be with someone to see their evil.
Wow.
To see when they're at their worst, when they act their worst, and under what conditions.
That's good
It
stuff.
takes a
That's
long
good
time.
stuff, Pastor.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Pastor.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, that's,
Marcel said, real love does not hurt either.
Hold on, because
Right.
love hurt. Love can hurt.
Definitely.
It definitely can.
Yeah.
Man, I think love can hurt, Pastor. What do you think? I think love, sometimes you feel hurt in love. Or
Do I-
it's just a bad part.
Do I think love can hurt? I think what Marcellus is trying to say is exactly what I just said. Real love hurts, but it hurts in a way that you can handle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I say handle people, I'm not telling you just let people abuse you. And like, oh, it didn't bother me. I mean, because sometimes we have a bad gauge as to whether something bothered us, especially women. As this is
Good
ladies'
job.
night. Okay?
Yes, come on.
We be like, no, I'm fine, and it didn't bother me at all, and then
No,
it did.
Yeah.
What you can tell whether something that was painful bothered you is if it started to make you change how you live,
Yeah.
how you do life, how you think about yourself. You know, then his comment did bother you,
Yeah.
and it did affect you.
Yeah.
I was just joking. You know, I called you a cow. You know, I was just playing with you. And if you start thinking to yourself, I mean, I am getting too big, or maybe I am. Then you tell your friends, no, girl, it didn't bother me at all. That's not true. It
Not
did.
true. It did.
It
Because
did.
now it's starting to affect and change you into a different type of person. You're becoming more insecure, more scared, more anxious. So yes, love should not hurt, but it should come with some pain that you can handle. But trying to make sure you can handle it and it doesn't change you into a worse person is the key. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Love has that kind of thing where, you know, they make you mad, you cry, you get angry, you get, you know, ow, you hurt my feelings, and then they soothe it and they apologize, you know, and hopefully, because no one's going to be perfect, they're the type of person that whatever they injured, they want to repair and build.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
That's
I was,
good.
like that was so stupid of me. Not only am I going to apologize, but moving forward, I'm going to build this back
That's
up.
good.
That's more so what you want to look for, not a perfect individual.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
good.
We got some comments or anything like that?
Yeah, Nonita said, love will have you looking like a fool, LOL. And then Marcella says, I'm talking about the abuse of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
I picked it up. Good point. The abuse of love.
Yeah, that is so true.
All right.
Now, Pastor,
Well,
listen.
hold on. Before I'm taking this chicken out of this hot pan.
Yes.
It smells so
Okay,
good.
we're gonna plate up this chicken that was seared.
Yes.
It's partially cooked. All right, it's not done. All right, but it has been seared on the top because we're gonna bake it for about 20 minutes at the end of this.
Yes.
But we're gonna start our cream sauce.
Yeah. Come on,
Mm.
Pastor.
Yes.
All right.
Oh.
So, okay. Somebody's gonna say something.
Me, Pastor, so I got a question. Now, Pastor, what do you do when you are at a place where you hate yourself? You just strongly, maybe that's too strong of a word, but then maybe it ain't.
Right.
You just dislike yourself. You
Talk to me from you, Danny. Are you feeling this way?
Oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
It is a real thing. Like I struggle with how I see
Is this coming
me.
from our conversation last night?
Yes.
Okay, now
Yeah.
catch us up. Let's start there.
So, me and Pastor had a very detailed conversation about a way that I was particularly loving on one of the brethren, like one of the folks.
How you view people.
Just how I view people. So
Okay,
what
correct.
I do
Expecting
is
people to that part. you
yeah,
know.
I expect people, and I look at people to not, like, I think, oh, I shouldn't give you that much attention because I expect that people won't give me that much attention. Or
Like when you
if
see somebody having attention, over amounts of attention, you feel like it's unnecessary.
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
I feel like that ain't needed. Like, calm down. Why you gotta do all that? But that's how I feel about me. I feel like I don't need attention, or I don't need, or it's a certain amount of attention and it's too much. And I'll push that extra attention away, or don't look at me, you know, all those feelings. What do you do? How do you
Because we
get
talked
out of
about
that?
we talked about last night that I said, Danny, maybe you want to go home and really and meditate and talk to the Lord about I think it's, you don't think that you're supposed to have that kind of attention, maybe from growing up, trauma in her life, you know?
It's definitely that. Yeah.
I'm not supposed to have that kind of attention. You know, you don't want to be the center of anything, you know, and I'm not worthy of it, you know. And for me, I grew up in an attention-filled home. I was mommy's baby and daddy's girl. You know? So I'm used to the attention.
Yeah.
And not to say that I'm an attention junkie, but to me, it is good to give it to anyone when you have it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
Give it to them if you have it. I may not have a lot right now, but I got this little bit. Hey, how you doing? Give them attention. You know, everybody likes it. You know. Now we can take it too far, but for the most part, I really thought that Danielle. I said, Danny, I think that maybe you don't want people to have too much attention because you don't allow yourself.
Yeah.
To have or to be the center of attention for anything.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So go ahead, pick it from there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I just it led me to just think about all the ways that I just feel like I'm not deserving of this kind of attention or this kind of affection. I love to give it though. I do. I really love loving people. I enjoy
Until
that.
it's too much.
Until it's too much, right? Which is why the boundaries thing was the whole situation. You know, there's that. But I love to love people, but when it comes to me receiving that love back, I just feel like it's too much, it's not necessary, it just makes me feel unsettled, like, it's just something about me that I don't like, you know. So
So talk to me about that part that you don't like.
I just be like, I don't know. I feel like
to our viewers, Danielle and I have been in counseling and talks about this for a while. So I don't want you to think she's just bearing it all the way open, you know, she's able to talk about it because we're still in constant communication regarding it. And she just decided to share. I was just, oh my God, somebody!
I got a great pastor. I don't know if you know that. That nice one over there, she fine too. That's my pastor. She be my pastor. Right. She do be my pastor. That part. But I feel like sometimes I am, and it does. I know that a portion of it does come from childhood trauma because I was abused as a child, and that has a lot of shaping about how I view myself. And I you know, pastor has been counseling me, like she said, in that regard. But I have this just unsettled feeling when it comes to me receiving love, and I feel like I just don't need all that. Like it just makes me feel like, it's okay. Let me go back to doing what I do best, which is loving the people. But you gotta
take
do
it,
that.
not receiving it, just giving it. Yeah. You know, trauma and hurt makes us feel like we can't receive love unintentionally, because the wires got crossed. The wires got crossed, and now something that was supposed to be loving became abusive, and it caused so much pain that we just don't want to receive a love and attention again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like don't do that because that hurts.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it takes a lot of time and therapy and prayer and counseling to begin to uncross those wires that says that when someone loves you, it's going to turn into a very painful and abusive situation.
Yeah.
You know, and it takes time, but ultimately we don't love ourselves because that feeling of when we were safe with love was taken advantage of.
Yeah. That's good, Pastor.
Do you know what I mean?
That's
Like I was safe in being loved, and now not safe. Love is not safe. It's not love on me. Don't look over here. Don't look at me. Because love is not safe. You know.
Yeah.
And it becomes a coping strategy and mechanism that your brain did for you to help you get through it. But then when you keep it as you get older, as we have talked about in our sexual abuse seminars, it can become really sticky.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, turn it off. And it's like, I can't turn it off.
Can't turn it off.
Just nobody loved me. Nobody loved me. And you can't turn it off. And it takes a lot. So it's not, I don't anticipate ever being able to help anyone with that right now. Like on the show.
Yeah.
But I do think it is worth considering coping strategies. The Courage to Be Healed is a great book and workbook that you can do for yourself at home at your own pace. Do you know what I mean? Or you can see a therapist, a trained therapist, or maybe your pastor, you know, if they are gifted and trained in that, you know, gifted and trained. Both. All right. But so now that we understand the love part, like the it's hard for me to receive love. Talk to me about loving yourself. Where's the anybody else have a hard time loving themselves?
Yeah, definitely. I've been through that season of just feeling. I know at one point I really struggled with how I looked. I grew up early on. I went to a white school, and when I was there, I always felt like I just wanted to be white.
That's just the bottom line. I just want to be white.
Well, because I was made fun of for my dark skin, my features, my hair. You know, at that time I wasn't getting a relaxer. And even the black people were like, girl, you need to straighten your hair.
They will. They see you.
So I was trying to figure out, man, where do I fit in?
Right.
And then at the time, you know, if you were light skinned with long hair, you was
You was
it.
it.
You was the
Yes.
one. So between being light skinned and being white, that was right. So I kept feeling like, you know what, I need to
So
do
it was hair. What else?
it was hair, skin, complexion. If I always felt too
You
dark.
Nubian queen.
Yes.
I felt too dark, you know, and then my features, you know, my lips. And I
You
was
do got beautiful
You do
lips.
got beautiful
You
lips.
got black, beautiful
I'm
lips.
Nice.
real black. I'm real black. You know, so
Black and
I remember I met you in that phase.
yes, you
Yeah.
did.
I met Jewel in that phase.
Yes, she did.
Where she did not want to admit that she felt that white was better.
Yes.
And I
did.
called her out on it. And
did.
started talking to her about how it's not necessarily better. Now look at it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even know. You
Yeah.
wouldn't even know.
Yeah, Pastor counseled me, and she's an amazing pastor, and she has such a great ability to be able to see where we are, what we're struggling with, and where God wants us to be. And it was just, you know, constant communication with her as you have it, you know, and sitting around the table just like this and eating and being on the golf course somewhere. But it was just a constant, like, how are you doing with this? And really just helping to free me from this idea that I needed to be better.
Wow.
You
Yeah.
know, and Pastor identified it. She said, you got this better, best thing going on. Where it's like, whatever it is, I'm trying to be the best at it, you know?
Yeah.
And if it means, you know, getting a relaxer and then 2 days later getting my hair bleached and then it falls out, you know?
Ooh.
You know, because that's what happened to me.
Wait a minute.
I'm willing to go the distance, you know? But pastors helped me kind of dial that. Because that's going way too far. But, I mean, I felt that and struggled with that. And you hate it because you know you're doing it to yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you're doing the thing again, you know?
Yeah.
You look in the mirror and you're like, I got to change this. I got to fix this.
Yeah.
And you know, part of you is like, no, you don't need to. You're fine.
Yeah.
But you don't believe it.
No.
You
Yeah.
don't believe it.
Yeah.
So then you end up doing things to fix it, to make it better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you never feel better.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
No.
You
I
never
know I'm gonna get slack from all my Christian friends out there about this, but I follow Lizzo, and I love her. And I know all the Christian people are gonna go, oh my God, that's so not holy, whatever. But what I love, even before she became uber famous, was the idea that she consistently shows us how to love ourselves.
Yes.
Now
To
that's
love
true.
Yes.
what we have,
Yes.
how we
Yeah.
have it.
Yes.
No one is trying to say that, you know, your body is perfect. We're saying that even if my body is
It's not perfect.
not perfect,
Yeah.
I love it.
Love
it.
Yeah.
I love this curve. I love that curve. I love this complexion. I love this mark. I love this. I love my body because it's mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's right.
Why can't you love it because it's mine?
That's good.
Right, like I think sometimes when it comes to self-hatred, is that it didn't come from us. It came from somebody else.
Yes.
That's true.
Somebody else told us something wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
And so thus, we shouldn't like it.
Yeah.
But go back to when you were a kid. Even if something wasn't good enough, you liked it because it was what?
It was
It
mine.
was yours. It was yours.
Yeah.
That's my mommy. That's
Yes.
my daddy.
Yes.
That's my toy.
Yes.
That's my
Yes.
box. That's my shoe. That's mine.
Yeah.
And you loved it because it was yours.
That's
Yeah.
good.
That's
And I
good.
think we get confused with, we start self-hating and not loving ourselves because we know that there's a standard in society of beauty.
Yeah.
And if we're not at that standard, then why should I love it? You should love it because it is yours.
Yes.
Your body serves you every day. It gets up. It moves around. It carries you around. It does stuff. Okay? My body does stuff for me. It does stuff for you.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yes. And if it was anything else, you know, that's why I tell people when it comes to cars, you know, people are like, I need to get a new car. I said, why don't you just clean this one?
Yeah.
You say that.
Why don't you clean this one? Why don't you, I need this, it needs this. Well, why don't you just get that done? People don't have any understanding of value.
That's good.
Just because it's yours. You just take care of it because it's yours. It may not be the best. It may not be what everybody else got, but it's yours.
Yeah.
It belongs to you. No one else can own it but you.
That's good.
You belong to you, and nobody else can own that but you.
That's good.
I think that's huge.
That is.
And what, so give me some feedback. What would you do, or what would you change now that you could think about it? Like, I should love myself and think that I'm beautiful because it's mine versus what the standards are. Give me some. Starting with Danny and then go around the room.
Okay.
And Joy, you got a little black thing on your tooth. Sorry, she has something on her tooth. I'm afraid when she looks at the camera, she's gonna be mad.
I just,
Okay, got it.
I think, Pastor, what you just said, it helps me to look at me as loving me, and that I have some things that are good to offer.
Yes.
And,
Some things, girl.
no, I mean, the tendency is to go in the other direction for me. That my mind would automatically go on what I don't have. But looking at what I do have and owning it as mine, that really just frees my mind and just helps me to be in a better position of just saying, okay, I may not have all that. I don't have to have what I do have. You gave me, God. I love that, and owning that, you know.
Yes.
That's super helpful. It really helps. It
And
really helps.
that's why when it comes to sexual abuse or any type of abuse trauma, a form of self-hatred can creep in because someone took something that belonged to you and acted as if it was theirs.
That's
So
good.
you don't believe it's yours, and you don't believe you have a right to it anymore.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So part of the healing is saying, no, this is mine. It was never yours. You were never supposed to handle it that way. It was never yours. It was always mine. And now I'm going to handle it and love it because it's mine.
That's right.
Does that make
That's
sense?
good.
Yeah.
Mine is my breast.
Yours is what?
My
breast.
breast. Okay. I'll be honest with you. I've been blessed with breasts.
Running down.
Girl, I need to top this out. Okay.
But breasts are natural and blessed. They don't float. Hope don't float. Are you
talking about how your boobies?
But when the bra come off, they come down.
Why is your glass?
So you know, you see online and you see people who have breasts that are not as blessed as yours, and they stay up naturally. I think naturally. So you wonder why. One thing about me, like my breasts are heavy naturally, and so as gravity, as I age, sometimes they don't look as perky, even though I'm happy. I want my breasts to match my attitude.
I want my breasts to match my attitude.
Without a prop. I don't want props.
So you feel insecure. You don't like your body because your boobs are not perky.
Thank you, Pastor.
I'm just trying to cut to the.
Bring it on.
So I mean, we all have insecurities.
Okay.
Yeah, Lord.
Yes, ma'am.
We all have insecurities. I don't want you to. This is not about picking out our insecurities. Okay. As long as your insecurities are in a healthy range. Okay. There's a range. You're not gonna get rid of them all. Okay. Because then you'd be conceited and arrogant, and nobody would like that.
No.
Okay. So you got to have a healthy range of insecurities. When it comes to self-hatred, that has gone outside the range.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But having things you wish you didn't have, stretch marks, saggy boobies, I got ugly feet, you know. They're really skinny like my fingers. You know, and you prefer not to have those things, you know. But that's just insecurities, and as long as they stay in a healthy range, okay. But that's normal. But not liking everything about how you were made, your complexion, your features, Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yourself in general.
Yeah.
Like my whole body. What?
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is not right.
Right.
My whole self. I don't like myself. This is going too far.
Too far.
That's when you really need to see that as therapy and counseling. All right.
Marcellus says, Pastor, the value of what is yours is priceless. Pastor, you are spot on with that.
Oh, thank you. Hey, man, could you share this when you get done, please? Share it because I know there's a lot of people that need to hear some of this.
Yes.
And it's a little bit better than some of the chatter that's out there right now. You know,
Yes.
most people say, just love yourself, but they don't really break it down.
Yeah.
You know, they don't tell you why and what the hiccup is and how do you get past, well, I know I'm not the standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I just alleviate the standard?
Yeah.
No. You just love it because it belongs to you. You know, that's
Yes.
that's the easiest way.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Well, I like that, Pastor. Loving it because it belongs to you. Because I remember a while back you told us to rate yourself.
Oh.
And
wait a minute.
some
Was that
Years ago, and this was the sex.
Oh,
sex
I'm not
conversation.
you was about rating yourself.
Wait.
Yes.
You don't be throwing that out there.
In a good way. In a good way.
Hold on. First of all, okay, I found out that a lot of my female members did not like how they looked without any makeup or weave.
Yeah.
And they hadn't liked themselves for many, many years. And so we had to have a whole...
I remember that. That was
Yeah.
first.
Okay.
Yes.
So then it was, let's get down to if you had to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you put yourself? You know?
Yes.
Not that Kevin Samuels crap. This was before
Yeah,
him.
no.
This was before he even
Not
showed
none of
up, but
that.
it was just
None of
dealing
that.
with introspective feelings.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
That was good.
But what I remember about that conversation, Pastor, is you said rate yourself as a 10.
Because you were not rating yourself.
And I was, 5, 6.
She was a
I
5
was
or
way down.
look how gorgeous
She's
she is.
so
Look how
pretty.
gorgeous all of them are. A 5 or a 6.
And
And I said rate yourself a 10. Why?
Rate yourself a 10 because you said who's grading? You are.
Wow.
And if you don't love yourself, if you don't love your body, who will?
will. That's
I'm like,
true.
if the scale, I said you get to rate yourself. They was like, okay, I rate myself a 5. I rate myself a 3. You rate yourself a 3?
Right.
It's your scale. You can be like, in my scale, stretch marks is cute. 10. In my scale, saggy boobs is cute. 10. It's your scale.
That's legit. Hey.
Come on, man. It's your scale. That's ridiculous.
My scale.
If somebody else's scale, then you'd have to listen to their crap like Kevin Samuels. But if it's my
Correct.
scale,
It's my scale.
I'm like, you know what? I got these stretch marks, but let me tell you what I did with these stretch marks. I pushed out a whole baby if I had kids. Yo, that's a 10 right there. You know, I got this dark skin. You know why I got? Because I've been out in the sun. I've been coaching up some stuff.
Yeah.
It's a 10.
That's what mine. I'm natural.
Girl, you was a 10. You was a 10.
You was a 10. You a
All
10
day.
girl.
That's right.
All day.
And look, let me tell anybody else is out there since I'm drinking my lemonade. If no one told you were a 10, I'm telling you, you are a 10. I could look at every flaw and say that flaw is great for a reason.
Yes.
It says something about you, about your life, and about what you've been through.
Yes.
That's good,
It's a
Pastor.
It's a 10.
A 10.
A 10.
10.
You are a 10. You are a dime, baby.
10.
All right.
Okay. Pat, speaking of self-love.
It's going to be our last point because
Okay.
it is almost done.
Wait a minute.
Wait, oh, minute. Oh, my God. I'm just getting started.
We forgot. We
Right, we did.
It's 10 o'clock. We're almost out of time, too. So
Oh,
y'all go
shucks.
ahead.
Okay, Pastor, speaking of self-love and
Uh-huh.
loving yourself.
Okay, all right.
One thing as a Christian woman that when it comes to loving myself physically,
Uh-huh.
how does God feel about toys? You said stuff. I've been waiting about this the whole night because I'm like, I've been thinking about this. Cause I'm like, does God see this? And do he accept this? And I'm being honest.
Oh my God, you gonna drop that at the end of the show.
We ain't gotta talk about it.
No, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it.
Pastor Shar said, hey, ladies.
Hey, Shar.
Hey, Shar.
Sean, you supposed to be at church last Sunday.
Cause that's right. Yeah, but that Pastor, I was about it this whole
So,
day.
you said toys. You mean
I mean biological toys.
biological?
Biological
Okay,
toys?
Toys that do biological stuff.
Sex toys.
Sex toys, yes. My gosh, I'm trying
No, Nita said, Linda.
Right.
Oh,
Janelle said the
Nita.
same thing.
Nita.
Janelle said,
Nita.
Shar said, Glinda.
Okay.
Tori got the hand on the head.
Okay.
Emoji.
So I'm the only one because I'm thinking. Okay, I'm sorry.
No,
As I get
be on the live being crass.
Okay.
All right, tell me if this is really a question or not, and what exactly is the question.
Okay. So, as I've gotten older, that there are certain things that I want, like hormonally. I feel the urge.
What are the things? Just you can say actual
Okay,
words. You don't
okay.
have to speak in code.
Well, I
but
wanna-
just don't be crass.
I want to have sex. I'm like, calling me bad. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about sex and being a Christian. You can't have it.
out here.
You can't. So what do I do?
So how do I handle the biological urge to have sex when I'm not married? So I have a toy to keep me from being desperate to actually get a man entangled with me when I feel the urge to be connected in that way. And I'm not saying the urge to come all the time. I'm just saying that when I do have a rough patch, is it okay? Okay, it's silence.
I need more lemonade.
Lakeisha said everyone wants to know.
Oh my God!
Everyone does want to know.
Yeah, we must be honest.
Everybody on here.
Hold on, let me get the food into a place that I could think. Hold on, the chicken needs to go in the oven.
Men got toys too. Men got toys too.
They also got their hands.
They do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying this is real thing that everybody goes through. If you ain't trying to sin, then
no,
what
it's
do you
true.
what do you do with these urges?
It's true. Nita said, look at Pastor's face.
That's right. Yeah.
Ooh, y'all are really bringing it today on the layoff. The ladies show was really coming.
It's really coming.
That's a real
I'm
issue.
solid say that took an interesting turn.
Yes, it did. I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry.
More lemonade, Tori say.
More lemonade. Man, if you need to log off at this point, I completely understand. We're going to have to go there on some things. Because I promised a real show and for Christians, so let's
They don't have stuff too, Pastor.
let's get into it.
it.
Let's get into it. I'm gonna start my mashed potatoes while we talk about
Okay.
this.
Mashed potatoes.
Oh Lord.
Mashed potatoes.
Okay, first and foremost, a disclaimer. Okay.
All right.
If the Bible does not call something a sin, I, as a pastor, cannot call it a sin. Okay. I can call it iniquity, but I can't call it a sin.
You said the iniquity word.
Okay. I did say the iniquity word. Okay. I can't call it a sin. All right. That's first and foremost. So, everybody goes for the question of lust. Masturbation is a form of lust, they say. All right. Lust, by definition, is something that cannot be satiated. It can't be satisfied. All right. That's what lust is. It means you go down this path and you need more lust. All right. Typically, in a lot of orgasmic experiences, it can be satisfied.
Okay.
One and done.
One done.
Right.
Okay.
Right. One done.
Yes.
Typically, okay. I'm sweating. I'm supposed to be mashing the potatoes. I'm just cutting them now. I'm cutting them to make them smaller so I can mash them a little easier. I don't have my masher. But okay, so
Yes.
all right. My rule of thumb is if masturbation can be done in a way. Now this is my rule of thumb. Oh my God, I'm gonna get so many hate emails. So many of my holy Christians are gonna be like, "You are an abomination." Just know it's coming. But sexual urges in and of themselves are not bad. Sex in and of itself is not bad. And pleasing yourself is not bad. Okay. And this is my opinion. Again, the disclaimer, I cannot say something is a sin that the Bible does not say is a sin. I can say that something is iniquity or that it is not good for you, okay? And everyone's sexual playing that they're on is different. Some people you can't masturbate because you have had a masturbation addiction or a sex addiction. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
A porn addiction. So there's parameters here that you cannot participate in, but to make it one fell sweeping rule for everybody, and everybody's at a different stage in terms of sex and their sex life is bad, okay? So sex and sexual urges, for the most part, for most humans without any trauma or addictions is relatively healthy.
All in.
Taking a deep breath.
Okay, all
Look
in.
at her face.
It's relatively healthy, okay? However,
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
All right. When satisfying urges of the flesh, okay? Is eating an urge of the flesh?
Yes.
It is.
Uh-huh.
Is it good to eat?
Yes.
Can eating be overdone?
Yes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, so let's think of sex like that. Rather than this nasty, gritty something like pooping, all right? The more like eating.
Okay.
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 Now, even pooping, nobody says pooping is the most disgusting thing ever. It's what comes out of the poop is an abomination in of itself. But nobody goes, you better stop pooping.
No, they
No,
don't.
they don't. No, they don't.
Crazy.
No, they don't.
You got an urge to poop. Don't you let that foul thing come out of you. Don't you let that foul thing come out of your butt.
That's funny.
Pastor Lakeisha says, real talk, real pastor, truth given straight, no chasing. Marcella says, God created us with those desires.
With
It's
those-
nothing to be ashamed
It's
of.
nothing to be
Nothing to be
ashamed
ashamed
of.
of.
I was raised in a very in a home that talking about sex with my parents was common and easy, not easily to be done, but I wasn't made to feel bad about it. And having an awareness, a lot of people weren't raised that way, especially a lot of Christian girls. So, but sex and sexual urges are not bad. It's like pooping or eating, whichever one you feel is better for you. It's a bodily function that gives you joy. Okay. The issue where it starts getting sticky is if it starts to replace an emotion, or if it's to replace peace, or if it's to replace
Gotcha.
loneliness,
Okay.
if it's to replace security.
Okay.
That's good.
Or esteem.
Yeah.
Or some people have to masturbate in order to go to sleep. This is when it starts becoming problematic because you're using a physical means to address a spiritual issue.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
If you feel lonely, then you masturbate. That's when it starts to get. This is when I would start saying it's problematic because you're trying to do something physical to satisfy something that's not physical.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm
Yes,
saying?
yes.
And that's when it starts getting sticky. That's when you start going into addiction tendencies. That's when you start going into demonic activity
Yeah.
and lust and all these types of things because you're using a physical means of God's creation to satisfy something that He wants to satisfy. But when you use flesh to satisfy flesh, food for the stomach.
Yeah.
Right? As the scripture says. But if you're using it to satisfy other things, do you know what I mean? Loneliness, insecurity, pain, peace so you can sleep. When you start using it because you're stressed,
Yeah.
masturbation and all those types of things is when it really starts getting problematic. Now Satan recognizes that you are trying to use the creation to satisfy spiritual desires.
Gotcha.
And that's where God really comes into play.
That's good.
That's good.
Oh my God.
That was good.
That's good,
Pastor.
Pastor.
This is my roasted garlic. I'm just
Oh,
That's good. That's good.
That's
gonna
good.
squeeze that
so
out of there.
good.
Pastor Wesley Green said, most husbands love that their wives have toys.
Perspective.
Perspective.
Like, baby, you got your toy, girl. You know I love you. I can't get you there today.
You need some help along the way.
Where is this show going?
To a real place.
It is going to
Yeah.
a real place. It's going to a
That's
real
a
place.
real issue. I mean, that does help answer my question because I used to be, I don't want to say so righteous about it as a Christian, but I thought I was a stronger person by not having to need those things.
Yeah, now that's good.
And now I'm in a place where I'm like, there are times where it's like an itch you need to scratch.
It is
And
sometimes
then-
like an itch you need to scratch.
And if I get to food, then sometimes you want to eat a good meal.
You do want
That's
to have a
correct.
good meal.
So I'm like, so it's one of the things where I used to feel guilty at first, like, because it was so shameful in so many circles about that kind of
Yeah.
activity.
Yeah.
where it's
Or-
hard to do that.
Or feeling like if I don't do it, then God will help and send me a husband.
Oh,
Yeah.
who said that?
Yeah. No. That's true.
And one of our council sessions, you said that. You said that in one of our council
Was
sessions.
you?
You did.
It was you.
I was a good Christian.
He's like, if I just don't do it, then eventually God will help and send me a husband because He sees that I'm suffering so bad
Yeah.
that He'll send me a really good husband. And a lot of women don't understand their bodies or don't or rush into marriage because they feel like God needs to satisfy this urge, and it's really just sex. It's not even anything else. You just want an opportunity as a Christian to have sex.
Yes,
That's good.
that's it.
Yeah.
Pastor Lonita said, "You preaching, Pastor. Pastor, can I set another meeting?" I definitely have said that before, is what she said.
Yes, you can set a meeting. Yes. All right. So on the food front, let me see how our chicken is doing. What else? Anybody else got some comments before?
Stefan said, "Hey y'all." He said, "No, Glenda, we don't have toys. Men don't have toys."
Okay, Stefan doesn't have any toys. Duly noted, Stefan.
Here we go.
Says your pastor. All right. But men do have toys. They have sex dolls nowadays. They have toy vaginas, and you have your hands. Okay, so I don't know if you know, but sometimes you can make your hands into like a toy. I don't know if they taught you that. You're trying to be funny. You're trying to come for us, Stefan. That's why it's an all-ladies show. Don't worry.
It's the ladies.
You'll be on next week. Don't worry.
Got the answer, ladies.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, so in this pan, my roasted potatoes got really roasted, but it's okay. I think I can pull it out. In a pot on the stove, I already got some heavy cream, some cheese, some Parmesan, some cream cheese, and I put that roasted garlic in here, and I just squished it and mashed it. So I'm gonna reheat it and mash it up. All right. But go ahead. What if somebody else got something to say? This was a tough topic about sexual toys.
You know, but that's real. You know.
If you get to the point in your sexuality where using your sexual devices become problematic, like you have no self-control. Like if you say, I'm not going to do it today, and then you do it, it's probably not for you. If you got to do it before you go to church, if you got to do it in order to fall asleep, you know. I just want you to be very careful that you don't want to open up lust.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. You don't want to take something that is a natural thing and then make it lustful. Yeah. Just like eating food could be great until it turns into gluttony. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then that's when the table starts changing and the conversation starts changing. But yeah. And you know, some of my private conversations I've had with ladies and men at our church is try to handle it like an itch if you could. You know, like if it's possible, avoid the fantasy.
Yeah.
You know, because when you have to create the fantasy, then you have to create a narrative that satisfies something emotionally versus just physical for physical. Mm-hmm. Do you understand what I'm saying?
That's good.
And then you start unwittingly putting too much emphasis on relationships to be a fantasy, and then you have these unreasonable expectations in sex, and especially when it comes to pornography and sex and love based off of something that you have attached a physical feeling to, an emotional thing that you created. You know, don't use people that you know in your fantasies. Don't try not to fantasize. If you just handle it like a physical act that it really is, that provides some enjoyment and not necessarily having to go way out there. Now listen, this is all rule of thumb, okay? This is all my opinion. If in some cases I've talked to people and they said, Pastor, I can't seem to masturbate without a fantasy. Then we talk about why and what that is. And before you know it, they're within healthy biblical bounds, I should say. What else I got on that? Anybody else got something to say on that?
Well, Janiyah said a rose is still a rose.
Janiyah.
A rose is still a rose.
Don't it's a toy.
You know, I've heard so much about this. I've heard so much about this rose toy on the gram that I refuse to try it. Y'all ain't gonna but whiffle me.
Whiffle me.
You not gonna whiffle me. You not gonna spanielize my name. I don't know what that rose that got did to your brain, but I do not want it. No, thank you. Just regular fine. Just no new age devices. Thank you so much. Y'all but whiffling me. All right. Is that it?
No, that's thank you.
Let's check this chicken. Let's pull this chicken out. Our mashed potatoes are on the stove.
Yes.
This all smells
I've
really
already
good.
pre-prepared the carrots.
Ooh.
See.
And I think I've got us some nice honey carrots here.
Oh, that looks delicious.
You can see it.
That looks really good.
All right, we're going to have some honey roasted carrots there.
Roasted carrots.
My potatoes are still on the stove. They're going to have to heat, but I think the main entree, which is what we were here for,
Yes.
this marinade chicken,
Yes.
is done.
Ooh.
Woo!
Let's see. Smell it.
It smells so
Oh
good.
my God.
Wait
That's
a
so
minute.
good.
Now, you know.
Can they see this?
Can y'all see?
Can they see this?
They got to see it. Look at it.
I just can't if you can see it. That's
Oh,
the cream
Yeah,
sauce.
yeah,
for
yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's that
yeah,
cream
yeah,
sauce
yeah,
for
yeah,
me.
yeah. That's
Woo!
good.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
cut up some basil, just some fresh basil right on the top there. For garnish, I'm gonna add some fresh garlic right on the top.
Wow.
Wait a minute.
That's
That
a-
food
This
was-
smells
it
so
smells so
good.
good.
Mhm.
We're gonna do a nice, healthy shredded Parmesan
Oh yes, come on.
right on the top of
You
that.
know.
Yes.
And I already pre-chopped up some bigger chunks of fresh garlic.
I love garlic.
Yeah, that was good.
I love garlic. All right, I'm gonna cut us a little piece so we can try one.
Yes, yes, make room.
And then I have to let our audience go.
Plus, I have food here.
This is good.
We had a good time with them.
We had a good time. Yeah.
We had such a wonderful time with all of you. I'm gonna just pull this chicken out of here some sort of way. What it do like? What it be like with this cream sauce?
Oh my gosh.
Wait a minute.
Gosh, you know you should put
You
it
know, I
back.
purposely sit here so I can get the first.
Ooh,
bite.
let's just see.
Let's
Let's
just skip past her.
Oh, come on.
So good.
All right, I'm gonna cut up a couple pieces so everybody can try a little bit
Yes.
before we go off camera, so somebody can tell them. Jewel can tell them how it
Come on,
tastes.
Pastor, Miss Williams said, "You keep the sets. I'll take the chicken."
You are crazy, Lisa.
That's your grandmother.
Oh, my grandma. Grandma.
Oh my god.
Hey,
Oh my
grandma.
God.
That's my
So
grandma.
good.
Is that good? Did it come out? Don't put the fork back in the plate, man.
Miss Williams on the show.
Hey, grandma. Is that good?
Yo, Nita said, "Oh my God,
What's
that
it taste
was
like?
so good."
What's it taste like? What's it taste like?
It's
Tell us.
the
Try it.
seasoning. Parmesan,
Creamy,
creamy.
garlic.
Is it
It's
marinated
not
chicken?
dry.
Hold on, let me get a piece. 'cause
It's
y'all-
marinated.
I was gonna cut it for you, but y'all just decided to take
No,
it.
that was look.
Let me see how it turned out.
Delicious.
This is all the way cooked in the
It's
middle.
all
That's important.
marinated in
Yeah.
cream. Oh my god. It's like it's been sitting in there, soaking in there.
Yeah,
That's
this
good.
will make
So
somebody
good.
marry you for
Oh,
real.
that's good. This,
It's very marinated.
where my tomatoes at? Put them on the top,
That is
baby.
so
Yeah.
good, Pastor.
Yeah, that's good.
Ooh, that's good. Okay. We're gonna eat, finish these mashed
Yeah,
potatoes,
right
have these
here.
roasted carrots, and this Mary Me chicken with sun-dried tomatoes and mushrooms, and that's it for tonight.
Yeah.
I had a great time, great show.
Yes.
Thank you to all of our audience, this one that's present, and you online, okay? A wonderful time. I'll see you next week
Yes.
at 8 p.m. I love you.
We
Love you
love
guys
you
so
guys.
much. Great conversation. If you love it, share it with somebody, and try to find us on Facebook and YouTube, because you know Instagram's funny. All right. Daddy, you cut off Instagram on the phone. I'm going to cut everybody else off. All right. Love you guys. Have a great night.